So yeah, so till yesterday we have discussed about enterprise structure. So we know where exactly to configure our enterprise structure. It is SPRO, SAP Project Reference Object. So SAP Reference IMG. And then we went to this part called enterprise structure. So in this enterprise structure, what you're going to do every day is like, what you're going to do is like a definition. First is like definition. We have already defined our organization elements. Okay. So now I'm entering into the part called assignment. So what you're going to do in assignment, as I told you, the thing which you have created already. So what we have created till now. So we have created a company code, plant, purchase org. So all this as well as the storage location. So all these org elements we have already created. We have created them as independent entities, but we didn't link them. Okay, client should be linked to your company code should be linked to your plant, and this plant should be linked to storage location. It is already linked. Okay, and the storage location, so this plant to your purchase organization, and as well as this company code to purchase organization. This kind of linking should happen so that we can able to say, yeah, this purchase organization is specific to this plant, or this purchase organization is specific to this company code. So like this. So these kind of assignments we have to do after the definition. So now what I'm going to do is, so I'll quickly go to this part called assignment. So in assignment again, where we have to start, always our role is to enter into materials management. So in material management, what exactly you're going to do? You are going to assign purchase organization to company code. Okay. And second is assign purchase organization to plant. These two only the configuration which I'm going to do in as a part of consultant. Additionally, what we are going to do is here in logistics general, if you go here, assign plan to company code. This is also there that we are going to do. Okay. And again, additionally in financial also, because there is no finance people here. So we are also doing their part. So assign company to company code here, assign company code to credit control area. So this is the second one we are not going to do. The first one you are going to do. And the first one I'm clicking now. So I'm starting with company to company code. It should have a relation between company to company code. So what kind of company code you have related? Yesterday, I think we have already assigned this. Okay. So if you can see here, we have created a company code called TM01. If you can remember, right? TM01 is our Tata Motors 01. It is our company code. Exactly opposite to company code, I have an empty box where I can assign my company. I have created a company called Tata G1. If you can remember, right? So I think everybody can remember, right? This is not the purchasing group. This is your company. It is your company Tata G1. That is your company code. If I
How to create this, sir?
Yep.
Like,
so what is that? Yeah. So if you can see here yesterday, when we created company name, we kept it as Tata G1. Company code, we kept it as TM01. So we have created some plant, we have created some storage location that I haven't wrote here. So we are assigning these two. We are linking the company name to company code so that this company can say, yeah, this part is mine. So if you are creating another company code, you can create another company code like Tata Motors. We have created Tata Aviation, maybe TA01 or whatever you may be. You can create number of company codes here. So you don't have any restrictions, right? Below to the client, you can create any number of companies, any number of company codes you can create. Okay, but for our understanding, what we are doing here now, we are creating one company code, we are creating one plant, we are creating one storage location. So like this. So we are, for an example, we are doing this. So it is based on the requirement of the client. If client is having 3 to 4 company codes, then you have to create 3 to 4 company codes. Okay, so this procedure will be same always. The procedure to create the company code is same. After creation, now I am assigning here. Okay, the assignment is already done yesterday. Okay, so after the assignment, you have to save it. So it's already saved now. I'm not going to do it again. So this part is done. Okay, financial accounting is done. Then I'm entering into logistics general. Okay, assign plan to company code. I'm clicking on this execute icon, which is in a clock shape. This clock shape is called as execute button. So exactly beside to that, you will be having a symbol called document. Okay, in that you will see the process or the steps or the definitions. Okay, so now what is this session called? Assign plant to company code. What is your plant name? If you can remember, anybody can remember the plant which you have created? What is the plant name which we have created? Anybody here?
TAH1.
The plant which we have created.
TS01.
TAH1.
Okay, let me go to that. I can't see them here. What it is?
TAH1.
Yeah, I can't see that here. Okay, so new entries. So what is your company code? What is your company code?
TM01.
TA01 it is, right? If you're not sure, you can browse this. Okay. So I told you, you have a box here. So where you can search, all the company codes which you already have. So where you can search and you can assign. So the company code, how many company codes you're having? You're having hundreds of company codes here. So what is the one which we have created? I guess TM01, right? So TM01. Okay. And what is the plant? Again, if you're not sure about the plant, you can put
TA01.
search button. So it is TA01.
Yes, sir.
TAH1 it is, right? No. TAH1. TM01 is my company code. TAH1 is my plant. Okay. So now I'm clicking enter. Okay. Country of plant differs from country of company code. Yeah. This issue will happen. If you remember, while we are creating the company code, we have chosen India, and while creating plant, we have chosen the different company code. Okay. So that is fine. It is saving now request. Where it is saving again, enterprise structure, Tata Azure. Again, the same TR request. Okay. So what to do with this TR, we can see in the later, but exactly we need to save all our configs into any one TR so that in the later part, we can move the TR to the required client. So as I told you, we will be having 3 clients, everywhere. If you work in SAP, one will be your development client. Second will be your quality client or the testing client, we can say. Okay. And the third one will be a production client where your customer or the client will actually works. Whatever the developments or the customizations are there, you will be doing in development server. After the development, it will be moved to quality server or the testing client. Okay. So there you'll do all the testings and everything. And even if you want, your customer also will do testing over there. And then that will be moved to the production server even. Okay. So this is what gonna happen in SAP. Okay. So now we did the assignments here. Okay. So we have already saved it. So I'm going back. Okay. Assign plan to company code is over. We will change this country, addresses. We have to change it, okay? Because it is having different addresses now. We can change it later. So logistics general. You can choose any one country. You follow one country, okay? If you're following Europe, you follow Europe address. You can choose Amazon Europe, and Europe address you can give Europe currency. You have to choose for company code as well as plan, as well as your purchase organization. Everything. It should be different countries, okay? So remember this. So logistics general is over. Now I'm coming to materials management. So in the materials management, what you can see here, assign purchase organization to company code, the first one. Okay, I'm clicking the first one now. What is the purchase organization which we have created? If anybody can remember, we have created a purchase organization called TIN1, Tata. Okay, Tata India, Tata Purchasing Group. Okay, what I have to assign here? I have to assign a company code. What is our company code? TM01.
TM01.
TM01, right? Yeah. If you're not sure, again, what I'm telling is always you can search it here and you can enter it there to see TM01 it is. Okay. Anything else here? Nothing, right? So you can make it as save. Again, it is asking where I have to save. So this is the only request where I'm saving everything. Okay. If you want to create a new request also, you can create it and you can save it there. So this is done. And next is assign purchase organization. But it is very simple, there is nothing typical here. Even, we don't need to discuss this topic even. You can directly do this assignment, it's not a typical part. Okay. So that's why I wanted to complete this within 10 minutes. So here you see, assign purchase organization to plant. Okay, again, I'm taking new entries here. What is our purchase organization? If everybody can note down, this will be better for everybody. So whatever the we are discussing in our class.
TIN1.
So
TIN1.
TIN1, right? And what is our plant?
TAH1.
TAH1.
TAH1, right? Okay, let me cross check it again. TAH1. Yep. Okay, so now you have to click enter. It is taking, see, purchase organization TIN1. It is taking the description, Tata Purchasing Organization. Plant is or TAH1. It is taking its description, Tata Plant Hyderabad. I'm saving it. Again, it is again TR. Okay, I'm saving it in the TR. Is it fine? Now all the assignments has been done. Okay. Anything else we need to do? Standard, we haven't created any reference purchase organization, we haven't created. So actually, but at this point, you should know what is this standard purchase organization and what is this reference purchase organization and what is the normal purchase organization. What is the difference between these three? If anybody have already gone through the materials, they'll understand this. What is the difference? Can anybody tell me? Interview definitely will ask you what is the difference between a standard, a normal, and a reference purchase organization. What you will answer? Because again, standard purchase organization will be 4 digits same, the process is same again. So that is depends on the client. Yeah.
Standard purchase organization means that is from SAP, the SAP format.
Okay.
Normal is the customized, I think, maybe.
If anybody have already know this or gone through the material, they can only say. I am saying to every day, right? Every day you have to go through the material, whatever the material which I have provided. Okay. So you shouldn't look for the presentation because I told you I have already provided you the material where I have been taking all the content. So I'm telling you this, you have to remember these points. There are normal purchase organization which we always use. What normal purchase organization will do, all the day-to-day procurement, all the basic procurements it will do. Sometimes what a company wants is like all my special procurement should be done by a standard purchase organization. Special procurement means what? We have two kinds of procurement, right? One is a basic procurement, second is special procurement. So in special procurement, what kind of procurements you'll do? You'll do subcontracting, you'll do third-party processing, you'll do pipeline handling, you'll do consignment, you will do. So all these kind of special kind of procurement will be done by standard purchasing organization. That is not like, in each and every company, we have to create both the organizations. No, it is depends on the client. If client says like, yes, I want different purchase organizations for different activities. So you can create, we have created only one purchase organization, right? You can create 3 purchase organizations there. You can create 4 or 5 based on the requirement of the client. So we have created only one. So we named it as normal purchase organization. If it is a standard one, we can assign that to particular activities like especially special procurement. So if I create, we have created one purchase organization as, what is the name of the purchase organization which we created? TIN1, right?
Yes.
So I can create TIN2 as a standard purchase organization. In the description, I can write that is a for special procurement. I can write it as for special procurement. I can mention anything. Okay. So those kind of things will be done by standard purchase organization. What is the reference purchase organization? This is very important thing. Reference. See, if your company code is having different plants in India, okay, one plant is in Hyderabad, one is Mumbai, one is in Pune. So different, like it may be having 20 to 30 plants in India. So every plant can have one purchase organization, or all the plants can have one purchase organization. So in this scenario, in this India scenario, you can't able to maintain all the for all the plants, you can't maintain only one purchase organization. So what people are doing is like they want each state should be having one purchase organization. Like in Hyderabad, in Telangana, if they have 2 plants, in Andhra if they have 3 plants, so all the 2 plants of Telangana wants to have one purchase organization. All the 3 plants of Andhra Pradesh also have one purchase organization. Like this, each state had their own purchase organization. So how many it is? So it might be 26 to 27 to 30 might be, okay. So consider that everybody having their own purchase organization. So what is the reference purchase organization then? There will be a reference purchase organization which has been created by your head office. Head office means your client. What they will do, for all of these purchase organizations, if they want to negotiate with a single customer, like say, understand, like say mine is a Tata Motors company. I want an oil, lubricant oil. I wanted to buy a lubricant oil, and I'm think that I'm buying it from only Reliance or Bharat Petroleum. Think that, okay. So Bharat Petroleum is not specific to Telangana, not specific to Andhra Pradesh. It is a common vendor for all the states in India. So what will reference purchase organization will do? They will negotiate with that Bharat Petroleum to supply that lubricant oil to all the Tata Motors plants which are in the different states, okay, to the agreed prices, the common prices. So that reference purchase organization, what they will do is like they will do the common kind of contracts, common agreements. They will do common kind of contract means they are going to have an agreement with Bharat Petroleum to supply whatever the required quantity of lubrication is there, that you have to supply all my plants, and you can bill to them. They will pay you. So this is what the purpose of reference purchase organization. Some companies, they don't want reference purchase organization. They'll say like, okay, I don't want any reference purchase organization. I want every company, every plant should have their own purchase organization. I don't want any reference purchase organization. But this is a functionality of a reference purchase organization. There is a particular organization will be there. They won't purchase any kind of day-to-day activities, but they will involve in large agreements and contracts. Common type of any like I have explained you the lubricants, oil if they want. Another thing is like another thing you can take an example like tires. Tata Motors in India needs tires. Okay, they can buy it from CEAT, they can buy it from MRF. Okay, so if they plan to buy from CEAT or MRF, what they will do, all the plants wanted to take it from MRF only. So if Tata has decided, and if Tata has an agreement with MRF means, so then what they will do, this reference or purchase organization will be creating that agreement or the contract, and they will be signing with the Tata people, and they will be holding those documents. And with the reference to that document, all the purchase organizations in all the states can do purchasing. So what I am saying here is with reference to that reference purchase organization. So if my purchase organization wants to buy based on the agreed prices of the reference purchase organization, means that is why I am assigning here. See, assign your purchase organization to reference purchase organization. Why we are assigning all the purchase organization in India should be assigned to that reference purchase organization, so that we can able to know what kind of contracts you are having. Either you are having contract with MRF or you are having with CEAT. If you are having a contract with CEAT, what kind of contract you are having, what kind of values you have agreed with, what kind of delivery date they have given. So these kind of things, you can search. You don't need to create that contract or the agreement again here, because that reference purchase organization is already having those values. You will take the reference of that. That is why you need to assign that reference purchase organization to your purchase organization. So this is, you have to remember. People will ask you in the interviews like, what is the difference between all the three purchase organizations? Okay, this is in your material, you can go through it. So this is what I want to explain to you. So this is all about our enterprise structure. This is only the simple topic. Okay, so whatever the topic is there, SAP will be like this only. So there won't be any difficulties in understanding, okay, over the configuration. So we successfully completed one topic here called enterprise structure in the configuration. Major topics, only 5 to 6 major topics were there in SAP. In that, among 5 to 6 major configurations, one enterprise structure completely we have finished. So now the another major part in SAP, that's a major part, I can say. Like if my enterprise structure covers 20% of the total part, means that covers 30, remaining 30%, I can say 50. If a guy knows enterprise structure and master data fully, then he can say like I know 60% of SAP MM. Okay, I can say 60. All the master data if you are aware of, means it's nearly about 40%. So 40 plus 20, this is the enterprise structure, means 60% of syllabus or the part you might have already covered. Okay, so I'll close this file. I'll save it. Yes, anybody have doubts?
I have one doubt here. In a reference purchase organization,
Okay.
means is the common agreement to supply all the plants, right? So it's a particular plants, actually plants having its own organization, right?
Yep.
So in reference, it will agree for the particular plants or all the plants with the different organizations.
All the plants, see, what I'm saying is like, suppose consider Hyderabad, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so in Delhi you have a reference purchase organization. Your Delhi, you're having Tata Motors head office. There your purchasing organization is the reference purchase organization. Those people have signed a contract with MRF to supply tires. Okay, understand, supply tires. Telangana people have agreed that we will follow that contract and we will buy only MRF tires. Okay, then what they have to do, they have to assign their purchase organization to that reference purchase organization, so that they can pull that contract into this and they can follow that contract. Okay, they don't need to sign again a new contract in Telangana. Okay, so because the contract is already signed at head office level. If Andhra people don't want to use that contract, they don't want to assign that to reference purchase organization. They don't want to use it. They are having their own plant in Andhra Pradesh, CEAT or any other plant, who is providing tires in a good quality. So if they want to go with that, they can go with that. Okay, if they don't want to take a reference of that, they don't want to take that contract, means they don't need to assign. Okay, this is the thing.
Okay, if they want to reference, then they will.
Yes. They'll take the reference of that purchase organization or the contract or the agreement which they have created. Okay, so that is why. So why you need to assign to reference purchase organization means
If reference purchase organization exists means it will handle all the big things. If you remember, if you can recall in your company, uh, if you want to deal with silly small clients, what you will do, a executive level or the senior executive level will do the small clients. If you're going to deal with the big clients, if you're going to meet with big clients, their MDs and their CEOs, you're not going to meet them. Your manager or your company MD or your company CEO going to meet them. So this is what, so big contracts and big agreements, if they wanted to do, what they will do directly, like the head office people will involve, and they'll go and they'll do agreements and contracts, and we have to take reference of those agreements and those contracts, and we have to buy things from Telangana. Okay, so like, because I had an agreement with MRF, the Tata Group in India had an agreement with MRF that MRF tire will be supplied at a unit price of 4,000 rupees. Okay, so that unit price should be followed in Telangana also. In Telangana, if they are going to any MRF showroom, when they require tires, that they'll take the reference of that. We already had a contract with you, right? So based on this contract, I need, so they can raise a purchase order so that MRF time can supply the quantity of tires is needed. So that is why you need to assign your purchase organization to the reference purchase organization. It's not happening in all the time, but some companies might needed that. So you have to create it. Okay, it's based on the requirement. It's usually like purchase organization only one purchase organization or two you'll create. It won't be different standard or reference, that nobody will care of all these things. Okay, so our next big topic is your master data. Okay, what's our time now? So it's already 9:30, so I'll try to cover this in 15 minutes. Then we'll answer your queries. Okay, so don't disturb me meanwhile. So after my after this discussion, exactly I'll close this topic exactly 9:45, and from 9:45 I can take your queries. If I'm not stopping at 9:45, you need to unmute yourself. You can stop me. Okay, right. So master data in SAP MM. This is a very important topic, and I want everybody to go through the material after this class immediately, or by tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, if you want to remember these topics on the same day, if you don't want to forget it, means you have to go through these materials in every day. Okay, so master data in SAP MM. Okay, what is actually a master data? That is a big question. Enterprise structure we understood. So our next topic, as I told you, master data. Okay, what is the master data? Master data in MM module contains all the basic information need to manage a material. Okay, if you want to manage a material, you want to have some basic information, right? The material characteristics and what kind of material it is. Is that a liquid or is that a solid material? If it is a solid material, what kind of material it is? It is iron material or the aluminum or the copper? This kind of everything, or the descriptions will be saved into your data. I can call it as a material master data if it is about material. If it is about supplier, if you are having a data of a supplier, every supplier is having a different characteristics. Like I have chosen MRP and MRF and CEAT, right? MRF is having their kind of own address, their kind of own brand quality. Okay, their kind of own dimensions of the tire. CEAT will be having their own dimensions, their own quality. Okay, their own kind of addresses they'll be having. So what kind of, each supplier may have their own kind of data, own kind of discounts they'll be having. They're only same discounts. If MRF is given 20% on MRP, means CEAT will give 25% or 30%. So it will be different. So the supplier to supplier, the things will change. So that is why you should maintain all the data of the supplier. So I'll call it as supplier master data. So all these data records are stored centrally and are used and processed on a cross application basis. Why I am calling it as a master means it is deal, all this data will be acting at central level. Central level means if I'm storing a material data in SAP MM, SAP SD, SAP FICO, everybody, all the SAP people centrally can access that data. It's not like the material you have created, you have to only use, I won't give it to you, means no, it's not happen here. So the SD guy, everybody in SAP, in that particular client, everybody can use of that material, that supplier. Okay, so this is what. So this master data will act as central data. What I'm saying here is like it will be processed on a cross application basis. Cross application means what? MM to SD, SD to PP, PP to FICO. It can cross to any applications. Okay, the data will be available at all levels. Okay, so now types of master data, that is a very important question. If you type in Google types of master data, some will say only 2 types of master data there in SAP, material and vendor. Some will say there are 3, material, vendor and purchase. Some will say there are 4, but I will say there are 7 master data are there, which you need to understand clearly. And if you can understand these all 7 master data, as I'm saying you, that's 40% of syllabus, 40% of the content, 40% of the things related to SAP, you can easily understand. So enterprise structure is already, I said you 20% means 60% of the part if you will cover mostly like. And even though after this, if you want to attend an interview also, definitely you will attend by saying like, yes, I do have a knowledge of master data and enterprise structure. You can attend the interviews also. So this is what the importance of your master data. So first thing is your material master data. See, the name itself says what it belongs to. I'm saying it as a material master. Okay, material master means what? This master data will always contain all the information related to material. It won't be having any data related to your vendor or anything else. Okay, it will always be having whatever the material. So what can so the next question will come is like, sir, what kind of materials it will be it is gonna store? It will gonna store whatever the materials you're manufacturing, and whatever the materials you're buying, both the materials you can create in material master. Suppose as a Tata Motors company, what I'm gonna create, I'm gonna sell cars, right? So car should be created in material master. I'll create a car, car size, car model is sedan or hatchback and whatever it is. I'll create everything. I'll give the data and I'll create materials. But to manufacture a car, I need several things. I need its engine. Engine will be supplied for some other company, might be Honda, might be Nissan, anybody else, might be it's Tata's own engine also. I should buy some paint from other vendors. I should get tires from other vendors. I should get glass from any other company. It's not like Tata is manufacturing everything, and no, they will only do assembly. They'll get all the parts, independently. They'll assemble there, they'll paint it, and they'll take it out. So they'll be having different materials, right? Paint is a material, glass is a material, that body is a material, chassis is a material, that gearbox is a material, gear is a material. Okay, your oil is a material, everything is a material. That all those materials you have to create in material master. Remember, this is a beautiful example which I've explained. And the second master is your vendor master data. What is this vendor master data? All the vendors where you're gonna buy the material. Remember, all the materials where you're gonna buy the material is your vendor master data. If you're storing all those data, that will be your vendor master data. So sir, tell me an scenario, if I'm selling my material to customer, so do I need to maintain the customer data also? Yes, customer master data, I'll call it as. That will be maintained by sales and distribution team. We are not gonna maintain that customer master data because we won't be doing sales, right? So we are dealing about purchasing. So purchasing process only we are dealing with. So if it is related to purchasing means you will be dealing with always vendors or the suppliers. Vendor is called as a supplier, and nowadays in HANA it is called as business partner. It won't be called as a vendor or supplier. In HANA it is called as business partner. Remember this term, business partner. Nowadays we will call it as a business partner. He is not a vendor nor a supplier. Okay, so but whatever the system we are practicing, it is our old system only. So we will call him as a vendor or supplier. Remember this. Okay, all right. The third one is your purchasing info record. If any one of you is from purchasing background, they'll understand what is this purchasing info record. Anybody can explain me what is this purchasing info record? If anybody is having knowledge on this, any one of you? The name itself says. What is this purchase info record will be having means this purchase info record will be having vendor as well as the material. Okay, what will happen is like what purchase info record will be having for your particular material. You finally understood that I'm gonna buy from this particular vendor only. Means I have explained you, Tata Group has decided to buy tires from MRF only. There won't be any other supplier. So that purchase info, they'll do, they'll maintain a purchase info record which contains all the pricing and conditions with that particular vendor. If you're having any material, with that material, if you're assigning a supplier and with an agreed prices and conditions, if you're maintaining into a record, I'll call it as a purchasing info record. So what this info record contains all your pricing conditions. Based on those conditions only, what are the pricing conditions? It may be GST will be there, GST will be added, transportation will be there, so VAT will be there. If any kind of taxes or things will be there, everything will be maintained in purchasing info record. Okay, we will discuss them independently when we are discussing independent topics. So I'm only just briefing them, but in the next in our next sessions, immediately after this, I'll be explaining you what is material master data, what type of material master data are there, how to configure this, everything. Deeply, we will be defining. Each thing will take 1 day, 1 session. Material master will take 1 or 2 sessions. It's a big one. Vendor master data will take 1 session. Purchasing info record take 1 session. Source list and quota arrangement can take only 1 session. Service master again 1 day. Batch master again 1 day. So all of them needs, each master data contains 1 day. So right. So today we will be focusing on material master data. So after this, I'll explain you briefly first. Purchasing info record is over. What is a source list? The name itself source means what? If you want to buy a material, exactly, yeah, if I want to buy a material, I wanted to find a source, like I want to buy a tire, I said you, or I want to buy a paint for my car. So I can find so many paint vendors outside, right? So what this source list will do is, like, source list will maintain all those vendors, what they will do in source list is simply, in source list I can maintain all the sources of supply for the particular materials. Like in the source list I can maintain, like, for this tire, okay, for these tires I will be buying from MRF, and you can maintain the duration also. Remember, in source list you can maintain the duration also. From this date to this date I'm gonna buy from MRF. We have agreement till that date only. Okay, so if you want to maintain another source list, another line item below to that, from the next date to the next date, I wanted to buy from C8. I wanted to take tires from both of them. So what I will do is, like, I'll maintain some conditions. In source list I can maintain, for this material from this date to this date, I wanted to buy this material from MRF. From this date to this date I wanted to buy, or quantity also I can mention. For this quantity from 100 to 1 to 100 I wanted to buy from MRF, means you can also maintain that. From 100 to 200 I want to buy, means I can buy from C8. So these kind of parameters you can maintain in source list. Okay, so the next is quota arrangements. The name itself says all these are all these data. The name itself says their characteristic. The quota arrangement indicates the quotas. I just know I have discussed this. If you have then multiple vendors who can supply you the similar kind of material, the tire produced by C8 and MRF will be same, means if you wanted to buy from both of them, so you can assign them some quotas. Some quota means what? I want 100 tires today or tomorrow in my plant. So what I will do is, like, 100 tires I wanted. Out of the 140 tires I will be ordering from C8 and 60 from MRF. I want a paint. That paint I can order from Asian Paint or Nerolac. I can order some, if you want 100 liters of paint today, I can order 60 from Asian, 40 from Nerolac. So this kind of quota arrangements will be having the quotas. You will give some quota. This percentage you will mention. 20% should be to MRF, 40% should be to this C8, and remaining 30 or 20% to any other vendor. So
Apollo.
like this quotas you are gonna maintain. Okay. Yeah, Apollo is there again. Apollo also, for Apollo again you want to give 10%. That kind of quotas percentages. We will see in the configuration how I am maintaining quotas. That's a very easy topic. Oh, the only big topics in all of them is, like, only material and vendor master. All the other things are very simple topics which you can easily understand. Material vendor means you need to put some more efforts, but it's a very easy topic. Okay, so quota arrangement is over. Then is service master. We have already discussed about the service master. What service master will store? In materials, you are only storing all the materials, but your company will always require materials as well as services also. What kind of services? Your company may need plumbing services, your company may need electrical services, your company may need painting services, your company may need fabrication services, all these services. Your company may need transportation services. Transportation, if you can see, some IT companies will be having their own vehicles. The vehicle will be named as Infosys. But some companies will be having third-party vendors who are providing their buses. Okay. So I'll call it as service, transportation service. I'll create all of these service in service master. It may be electricity, it may be water, it may be oil, it might be anything. I'll call it as a service products. That service products or services I'll create in service master. That is all discussion about your service master. Then I'll come to the last part, which is called as batch master. What is this batch master? Have you heard of a thing called a batch anywhere? If you can see the products, the daily products which you're using at a home. It may be the paste, toothpaste which you're using. It may be the mouthwash. It may be your oil. It may be your perfume. It may be your lotion. It may be your powder. All of them. It may be your medicine. Everything. All of them. I'll call it as FMCG products, fast moving consumer goods. All these FMCG products will be having batches. Batches it will be having. If you can see the product, if you can hold it, you can see batch some 11021,
numbers.
batch T1 2131. Like this batch numbers it will be having. What is the use of this batch number? Can anyone explain me? क्या यूज है भाई ये बैच नंबर का? कभी आप सोचे कि कई को भाई ये जो अपने पास जो शैम्पू खरीद रही उसके ऊपर बैच नंबर कई को रह रहा, जो मेडिसिन ले रहे हैं मेडिसिन के ऊपर बैच नंबर कई को है, क्या बोलता है बैच नंबर? बैच नंबर का यूज क्या हो सकता है? किसी को मालूम है यहाँ पे? कोई अगर सेल्स
कितने-
परचेसिंग में काम करे तो? जी
specification codes and all.
स्पेसिफिकेशन मालूम करने,
टाइमिंग मालूम करने, मतलब इतने बैच में इतना खरीदे सो बोले सर।
खरीदे सो या बनाए सो?
तो बना के बेचे सो
Manufacturer
एग्जैक्टली
मैंने-
आप लोग पूरे जितने भी लोग आंसर कर रहे हैं सब बराबर है जी। असल
मैन्युफैक्चर
बैच
करके
मास्टर
बेचे
क्या
सो।
बोलता है? हाँ, मैन्युफैक्चर जब जो कौन सा भी जो है क्या होता है बैच नंबर कहीं को देते हैं लोग बोले तो देखो भाई एवरीडे जो है मैं समझो कि अगर मेरी एक सोप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनी है, एवरीडे मैं 1 लाख सोप मैन्युफैक्चर करता हूँ। 1 लाख अगर सोप मैं मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहा हूँ पूरे इंडिया में, तो मैं क्या करता हूँ बोले तो ईच प्रोडक्शन में कितने आ रहे हैं, मतलब कभी कभी क्या होता है बोले तो देखो आज के दिन मैं साबुन जो बना रहा हूँ, कल के दिन जो साबुन बना रहा हूँ फर्क हो सकता, क्योंकि आज के दिन जो रॉ मटेरियल यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं कभी कुछ ज्यादा कम डाल सकता हूँ, या जो उस साबुन के अंदर जो मैं ऑयल यूज करा या नहीं तो कुछ भी फ्रेग्रेंस यूज करा वो कुछ अलग वेंडर के पास मैं ले सकता हूँ। मेरे पास अगर जिसके पास मैं खरीद रहा हूँ उसके पास अवेलेबल नहीं होगा तो मैं जो है एक वेंडर को छोड़ के और एक वेंडर के पास, मतलब मेरे को गुलाब फूल का लिक्विड डालना है इसके अंदर साबुन के अंदर, मेरे को लग साबुन बना रहा हूँ मैं, तो उसमें मेरे को सैंडल का ऑयल नहीं तो जो है रोज का ऑयल मेरे को डालना है उसके अंदर, या रोज लिक्विड मेरे को डालना है। सो मैं हमेशा क्या करता था डाबर के पास से डाबर गुलाबरी जो लिक्विड है वो खरीदता था। तो कभी कभी क्या होता है मैं जो है दूसरे के पास खरीद सकता हूँ, या जो है मेरे को एनवायरमेंट कंडीशंस अलग बदल सकते हैं, या मेरा इक्विपमेंट अलग हो सकता है, या मेरे टेम्परेचर कंडीशंस अलग हो सकते हैं, या मेरी टाइमिंग अलग हो सकती है। टाइमिंग मतलब वो बैच क्या बोलता ऑलवेज बोले तो वो बैच अगर कल के दिन समझो कि साबुन आप बेच दिए, बेचने के बाद साबुन में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गया, किसी को इश्यू आ गया कि साबुन यूज करते थे रैशेस आ गए उसको, दूसरों को नहीं आ रही, मतलब अब वैसा उन्हें क्या करता ट्रैक कर सकता है, बैच नंबर सिस्टम में मार के देख लेता है भाई ये प्रोडक्शन कब हुई थी, फलाने डे पे हुई थी, फलाने डे पे कौन बंदा था, क्या करा, क्या क्या गलतियां इसके अंदर करे, उसके ऊपर उन लोगों को एनालिसिस करने के लिए फायदा होता है। ये एक चीज है। दूसरी चीज क्या है बोले तो किसी को ट्रैक करना है, वो बैच नंबर मारे तो उन लोगों को मालूम होता है कि कब मैन्युफैक्चर करे थे, इसकी क्या बोलते हैं एक्सपायरी डेट कब तक हो सकती, और वो बैच के नंबर से मालूम भी होता है कि क्या क्या पैरामीटर्स उस दिन यूज करे थे अपन, क्या क्या जो है कंपोजिशन अपन यूज कर रहे थे, कितने क्वांटिटीज में मिलाए, उस दिन कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल था प्रोडक्शन का, कौन इंचार्ज था, हर चीज मेरे को ट्रैक हो सकती है। सो बैच नंबर ये बोलता है उन लोगों को ट्रैक करने के लिए, बैच नंबर विल ऑलवेज टेल ये tell a manufacturer that when that particular product has been produced, at what conditions it has been produced, what kind of composition it contains. So in order to track a material, एक मटेरियल को ट्रैक करना बोले तो उन्हें क्या करता बैच नंबर को मेंटेन कर लेता। ओके सो ये कब करते हैं, कौन से प्रोडक्ट्स को कर सकते हैं भाई बोले तो एफएमसीजी सवाल करता है इंटरव्यूअर। सो व्हेन दिस बैच मैनेजमेंट विल बी रिक्वायर्ड, सो स्पेशली फॉर एफएमसीजी प्रोडक्ट्स। एफएमसीजी बोल तो क्या है, फास्ट मूविंग कंज्यूमर गुड्स, जो ज्यादा डे टू डे लाइफ में इस्तेमाल होते हैं वो चीजों को तुम बैच नंबर मेंटेन करते हैं। अब एसी है देखो भाई, एसी एवरीडे लोग नहीं खरीदते उसको बैच नंबर नहीं रहता देखे तो। सो कुछ चीजें जो रेगुलर नहीं खरीदते वैसी चीजों को बैच नंबर नहीं रहते। ओके ट्रेन रहती, ट्रेन को अगर देखे उसके ऊपर तो बैच नंबर नहीं रहता, खाली सीरियल नंबर रहता। कुछ चीजों पे खाली सीरियल नंबर रहता, बैच नंबर नहीं रहता, जिसके ऊपर कुछ नंबरों कुछ चीजों पे सीरियल नंबर भी रहता, बैच नंबर भी रहता। ओके सो सीरियल नंबर से उसका नंबर भी ट्रैक कर लेते ना, बैच नंबर से उसके पैरामीटर्स पूरे जो है मालूम करते हैं लोग। सो दिस इज व्हाट गोना हैपन इन बैच मास्टर। सो ऑल ऑफ देम आर योर मास्टर डेटा। तो यहाँ हमारा 9:46 हो गया। मैं जैसा बोला आपको 15 मिनट टाइम है जिसके अंदर आप सवाल कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद हमारे जो कल क्या करेंगे, पूरा मटेरियल मास्टर पे फोकस करेंगे, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे वेंडर मास्टर पे, ऐसा अपन ईच डे एक मास्टर डेटा कंप्लीट करेंगे। उसी दिन आप प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ता या एग्जैक्टली नेक्स्ट डे, मगर उसको क्या बोलते हैं आप टाइम वेस्ट मत करिए। सो
वेंडर मास्टर के बारे में एक बार बोल सकते हैं? वेंडर मास्टर,
वेंडर बोले तो क्या है बोले तो सप्लायर भाई। वेंडर बोले तो जहाँ से आप चीज़ें खरीदते। अगर मेरी कंपनी टाटा मोटर्स की है, टाटा मोटर्स छोड़ दो भाई एग्जांपल, दूसरी कंपनी ले लेता हूँ कुछ तो भी। समझो कि मेरी एक हेटेरो फार्मा ड्रग के फार्मा कंपनी है, मैं मेडिसिन बनाता हूँ। तो मेरे को मेडिसिन बनाने के लिए कुछ चीज़ें होना, क्या क्या होना भाई, मेरे को बोला तो मेडिसिन बनाने के लिए मेरे को कुछ केमिकल्स की जरूरत पड़ती। ओके, मेरे को कुछ जो है लिक्विड्स की जरूरत पड़ सकती, कुछ पाउडर्स की मेरे को जरूरत पड़ सकती, कुछ मशीन्स की मेरे को जरूरत पड़ सकती। ओके, तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ बोले तो समझो कि मेरे को मशीना होना, मशीना एक कंपनी से खरीद सकता हूँ मैं, जिसके पास से खरीद रहा हूँ उन्हें वेंडर हो जाता मेरा। और मेरे को क्या है कुछ केमिकल्स होना, केमिकल्स मेरे को एक एक केमिकल एक एक के पास मिल सकता, या पूरे केमिकल्स एक के पास मिल सकते, केमिकल्स एक के पास खरीद रहा हूँ तो उन्हें एक वेंडर हो गया मेरा। तो जिसके पास आप जो कंपनी है, जो कंपनी बोलता आपकी आईटी कंपनी की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ मैं, आईटी कंपनी में आप कंसल्टेंट है, मगर जहाँ पे एसएपी इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं वो कंपनी की बात कर रहा हूँ। अगर आप फार्मा कंपनी की एसएपी को इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं तो फार्मा कंपनी वाला क्या कर सकता, उन्हें जो है कहीं से भी प्रोडक्ट्स को खरीद सकता। जिसके पास खरीद रहा उसको कभी भी वेंडर या सप्लायर बोलते। ठीक है, आपके घर में दूध होना, शक्कर होना, क्या भी होना, जाके किराना दुकान से ला लेते आप, वो किराना दुकान आपका एक वेंडर हो गया। या कभी कभी मैं डीमार्ट तक जाके डीमार्ट से लाता हूँ, या कभी जो है आप बिग बाजार से जाके लेके आते हैं, तो बिग बाजार आपका एक वेंडर हो गया, और क्या बोलते हैं डीमार्ट आपका एक वेंडर हो गया। तो ये सबको वेंडर्स अपन बोलते हैं। अगर ये अच्छा, तो वेंडर मास्टर क्या बोल रहा हूँ भाई यहाँ पे बोले तो, मैं डीमार्ट वाले का मैं क्या करना, वेंडर मास्टर में क्या होता बोले तो आप सेव करते, क्या सेव करते हैं, वेंडर का नाम सेव करते, डीमार्ट वेंडर का नाम है, उसका एड्रेस क्या है, फलाना टोली चौकी ये गली गुलशन कॉलोनी बोल के एड्रेस मार देते, पिन कोड मार देते। ओके, डीमार्ट वाला कितना डिस्काउंट देता हूँ बोल के बोला हमारे को हर प्रोडक्ट पे 20%, वो डिस्काउंट अभी मेंटेन कर लेता हूँ। तो वेंडर मास्टर डेटा में क्या है, वो पर्टिकुलर वेंडर के रिलेटेड पूरा डेटा मैं मेंटेन कर लेता हूँ, उसका एड्रेस है, वहाँ पे कॉन्टैक्ट पर्सन कौन है, किसको कॉन्टैक्ट करना है, क्या क्या जो है एग्रीमेंट है, सब चीज़ें मैं वेंडर मास्टर मेंटेन कर लेता हूँ। और एक चीज़ क्या है, डीमार्ट साथ रिलायंस भी रहता है, रिलायंस वाले को भी मेंटेन करना मैं, रिलायंस वाले का डेटा भी मेंटेन कर लेता हूँ, रिलायंस वाले का कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर क्या है, रिलायंस वाले का एड्रेस क्या है, पूरे एक ही जगह नहीं रहते, पूरे पूरे का नंबर एक ही नहीं रहता ना भाई। तो एक एक वेंडर का एक एक रहता, तो वो वेंडर्स के आप मेंटेन कर लेते। कभी कभी क्या होता, कुछ चीज़ डीमार्ट में सस्ती मिलती, कुछ चीज़ रिलायंस में सस्ती मिलती, तो जो चीज़ जहाँ से खरीदना वहाँ से खरीदते आप, तो सब वेंडर्स आपको बनाना पड़ता, बना के रखना पड़ता। तो वो वेंडर्स को बना के आप जो स्टोर करते हैं वो डेटा को जो है वेंडर मास्टर डेटा बोलते हैं। और कोई सवाल?
असगर भाई, ये
मैं रिकॉर्डिंग
बैच
स्टॉप कर देता हूँ।
मास्टर और एक्सपेरी और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में